Time to go.
All right. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel, Unfiltered and Unstoppable. I'm Radio Chick Renee, and my guest today is Jim Fosket. Hello, Jim Fosket.
Hello there.
I'm so glad to have you here. You got ducked already. I'm glad you got your coffee. We're sitting here at Baristas, and I just want to find out all about you. I know your name. I'd never met you before. I know of you, of course, but I think, to let my viewers know who are going to be watching from all over the world, who are you, Jim Fosket?
Boy, that's opening up a can of worms.
Pandora's box.
Oh, yes, you have. Well, I was born in
Valentine, Nebraska, okay.
That's where my mother and all her family were from.
It's beautiful there. Beautiful. Yeah, Valentine, Nebraska.
Oh yeah, you can't beat it.
I love Nebraska.
Yeah, and it's somebody posted the other day on Nebraska Through the Lens about the highway from Bedford to Valentine.
Yes.
On the old highway, and I said, oh, I remember the old highway, but they used to have red hearts every mile.
For Valentine.
So you knew how far you were from Valentine.
I love that. Well, in Valentine's Day, I think a lot of people, I hear people, they go there to have something to say it's from Valentine. Yeah. If they still do snail mails. Yeah. Do you remember snail mail?
Mail has gotten bad.
Mail has gotten bad. It makes me sad because I don't know about you, but I sure looked forward to Christmas cards and birthday cards, or getting a letter from my great grandma, things like that. But so, Jim, how I know you is that you were in law enforcement.
Yes.
Now, I want to talk about that for just a little bit. What got you into law enforcement?
I wanted to be in it since I was a freshman in high school.
Why?
I just felt it was something that it appealed to me. I felt I could make a difference. I felt I had something to add.
Yeah.
And that's why that's what I always wanted to do.
And so how did you pursue that?
Well, it started out, I lived with my folks when I was 18, 19, here in Grand Island. Mm-hmm. Well, see, we moved a lot. My folks moved a lot.
Okay.
The last place we lived was Aurora.
Oh, I love Hamilton County.
We lived there 7 years, I think 8 years.
Beautiful country.
From high school.
Yeah.
But I lived here for a short time, worked in the New Camp Well Company, right up north here on Webb Road.
Is it still open?
Well, they are, but now they're out on Highway 30. But it's not the same owners. And I ended up, my cousin asked me to move out to Loveland,
Colorado.
Mm-hmm. So I went out there, and this was in end of 73, 74.
Vietnam War was still going on?
No, they were just finishing
Just
up.
ending, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They were just finishing up.
Thank you.
And so I got out there, and I got a job at a gas station, and an ambulance would pull in to get gas. I told them, I said, man, I wish I could be on an ambulance. I wish I could. They ended up hiring me.
You worked as an EMT?
I started out just as a driver.
As a driver, okay.
Yep, out of Loveland.
Okay.
And I was there probably a little over a year or so. And then the company moved to Abilene, Texas, and I went with them.
I love Texas.
I don't.
You don't like to?
No.
Well, for the football, but I always had a good time with the people. The people in Texas were pretty good to me.
Yeah, I was down there with them for about 6 months, and I thought, no, this is not.
Well, how far down were you? Because the further south we were, the humidity was ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the people were always good to us, and we had a good time with our football.
People. I mean, I didn't have any problem with anybody.
No.
I was a long ways from home.
You were a Nebraska boy.
Exactly. I just didn't care. So 6 months down there, and I moved back. My folks lived out on Davis Lake.
Okay.
And so I went there, and I said, well, I need to go find a job. Ended up going to work it was called Lake Mary Ranch Camp at the time. It's over there just south of Central City. It was a camp for kids.
Okay.
It's now Timberlake.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That used to be in fact, I got
Look
pictures.
it up, guys. Timberlake. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And I've got pictures from when we were camp kids, when we were there. But so I worked there for that summer. And then that fall, when it got over, I moved to Lincoln. Got a job in Lincoln at a place called Donnelly Medical Supply, and I just delivered medical supplies all over Lincoln.
Okay.
And I asked the guy that had Lake Mary Ranch Camp, I said, can I come back next year? He said, yeah. He says, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I'll be a counselor again. I said, could I try being a wrangler? He says, I don't care if you want to try it.
A wrangler.
So I ended up buying a horse from him. And
Did you know how to ride a horse and all that growing up?
a little, but I learned a lot fast.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was. And the first time he says, you know, we have to post it. They had a little rodeo, kid rodeo every 2 weeks. And he says, you know, at the rodeo, we post the colors on a dead run with the horses. I said, okay. And I did it. I did it. And we'd come to a sliding stop in front of they had a place to sit for the parents. And we'd start in the back and we'd go around like this. We'd come around and we'd slide to a stop and face the crowd with the flags and all that.
I have goosebumps. I have goosebumps on my head. So, Jim, you're actually kind of like John Wayne then. You're cowboy.
Yeah, I am. I had my
I love my
hat.
John Wayne, you know, you bet.
I had
Cowboy.
my cowboy hat. I had my cowboy shirts. And so that second year I came back, that's when I met my wife.
Uh-huh.
She was a counselor. She was going through state college.
Okay.
And she got a job up at camp, same time I did. And so I met her in June of '76. We were married 6 months later. We're still married now.
Oh, how many years then?
It'll be 50 in January.
50 years in January.
Yep.
Congratulations.
And she's endured some of the crap my career.
I'll bet. You know, I come from a long line of law enforcement officers. First off was my great-grandpa, Frank Daly, an Irish cop, a big one.
Uh-huh.
And he worked out in Scotts Bluff and Gearing out there. And there was a lot of Indian reservations back then. And we still have some of his collections of knives that he took off of some of his, the people. But you know what? He loved what he did. He was a loved man. And I have cousins who are all like cowboys. We grew up with John Wayne movies and Patton. And I was always the Tom girl wanting to play with the toy soldiers with them. And of course, when we played cowboys and Indians, forgive me, Native Americans, but we were on our bikes and I always had to be the Indian. I was just, it was the best childhood. And then a lot of them, 2 or 3 of them or 4 of them decided to go into law enforcement. And they've seen some things that I know you have. We don't have to go into grave detail, but I tell you what, when our family gatherings get together, I'd just sit there with a beer and listen to my cousins and great stories. I mean, horrific stories, but
well, a lot of my stories they keep coming. See, I'm diagnosed with OCD and PTSD.
Yes.
And I have a brain. People say, "Do you want me to get in your mind?" My wife tells me, "You don't want in his mind."
No.
You really don't.
You don't.
Because I have a memory that I can't forget this stuff.
No.
You never will forget it.
No.
I don't care what you say, what you do.
Some of these stories, we'll let this pass. Let me cut this out.
There, it's quiet.
Okay. So, when did you finally decide to take the leap into law enforcement?
Well, I met my wife, and she grew up in Humboldt.
Okay. I'm trying to think of where that is. I've heard of it.
You know where Auburn is?
Yes.
Okay. Go south about 25 miles.
Not a very big town?
No.
Little fart towns like we have all around here.
800-900 people.
Oh, yeah.
That's where she was born and raised and grew up. So that's why she went to Peru. And so I decided, I'll move to Peru too.
Yeah.
So I got a job down there with a farmer, and we got married in January of '77. And then in March, then we were living, she was finishing college. She had 2 years left. And so I got a job with that farmer. Well, then there was an opening in the Auburn Police Department. I applied for it and got it.
In Auburn. Okay.
And so I was on the Auburn Police Department while she finished college. And then wild in me, a friend of mine I went through basic training with in law enforcement. He lived out in Holdridge, and he said, "Hey," Alma's looking for somebody because they're going to get a Corps contract with the Corps of Engineers to patrol the lake."
Okay, sure.
I thought that sounded like a
That sounds like
So-
a Mr. Green Jeans kind of job.
Well, that's what I thought. Well, boy, it wasn't any old.
Really?
Oh yeah, that lake and the people. See, you were allowed to drink there.
Well, I remember those days. I grew up around Sherman County.
Oh yeah, then you should know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And so I went down there, and I was there about a year and a half. And I thought, oh man, this isn't
What you were thinking?
Yeah. And then they had a new sheriff in Holdridge, and he hired me, and stayed there for 9 years, and then went to Grand Island.
And
I've
how
been here
long?
since.
How long were you in Grand Island or Hall County?
I started here in October of '79, or October of '89.
89. Okay. So I was already graduated. Well, and I grew up in Sherman County. We knew all of our amazing cops up there. God bless them. That they had to put up with me. I was the Nasiba girl.
Oh,
Nasiba girl. I'm like, what? Yeah, but I loved them all, and I appreciate all of them. I don't know if you knew the name Maury Grudzinski, and oh yeah, we had Kugler and Trompke and those guys up in that neck of the woods. I don't know if you've heard the names, but God bless them all. And then I think about my family that are law enforcement officers. Now that I'm old, I'm going to ask you a question.
okay.
How many sovereign citizens did you have to deal with? Or is it just becoming bigger these days?
We dealt with it a little bit. When I first came here in October of '89, I started on night shift with the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
We dealt with some. There's a place over here that was a big dance hall for Hispanics.
Oh, sure.
can't
La
remember.
Mexicana?
Maybe that was it.
I think it was on South Locust.
No. This was, as you go on 4th Street, you go east. You go under the underpass there on 4th Street,
Oh,
and
sure.
you turn left, and I don't know, but it was strictly Hispanic.
Sure.
And the police department would get stuck there working big parties, and we'd get called in to cover calls for the police department.
In case things got
In case
rowdy.
things got carried away. It was just kind of starting then, and I tried to raise awareness of it, and oh boy, did I suffer.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you suppose that is?
Grand Island, like so many places, Hall County, they're concerned about their image.
Yeah.
We want people to know this is a safe place to live.
And that's what my podcast is about. Nebraska, we take care of one another.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen videos where, say, a state patrol's pulled over and the suspect has gotten out and is fighting him and taking him on. I am the kind of woman that is fearless, and I know maybe I shouldn't, but I would get out and jump on the guy and gouge his eyes out. I would absolutely help my law enforcement, because you're there to protect and serve. I know you've seen some stories. Is there anything you want to share of one story?
Boy.
You've probably got a ton of them, and I don't want to spark the
That's
bad memories.
That doesn't bother me. Probably the one that stands out most to me, and there's a lot of them.
Sure.
A lot of them, but we got a call one time when I was on the sheriff's office in Holdridge,
Okay.
down to Atlanta, and there was an accident at a grain bin.
Oh,
Okay, so we got down there. Maybe this is too, you X-rated?
it's okay.
Okay. Well, what it was they had a tractor, and it had a tractor faced this way. It had a little auger in the back,
Yeah.
and then had a big auger that went up and dumped into trucks and trailers.
Sure.
And so they backed that up to a Quonset, and it had been raining, and he was standing on it, looking at the corn underneath, and he slipped off and went in that small auger. And so when we got there, I went to him, and I was looking, and he says, I don't know what's going on. He said, I think it's got my foot. And I could see he was in that auger up to his waist. It was a 10-inch auger. And so I was talking to him, ended up calling the surgical team out of Holdridge Hospital.
Sure.
They had to come out, and they had to put him under, and then they had to back the auger. It was a 10-inch auger.
Yeah.
and they had to back that auger to get him out.
Yeah.
And he survived, and they got him to Holdridge, and then they flew him to Lincoln, and then he passed away on the surgery table. But he was just talking. I mean, it was.
I've seen it. Well, I lived in New York, where people have either been pushed or fallen between a subway, and it kind of twists them, but they're still alive and talking. So that's some of the horrific accidents in life that you've probably seen. I've seen a motorcycle accident out past Cairo.
Mm-hmm.
In 1978, we were moving to Rockville, and my uncle and my daddy got out. They said, "Kids, stay in the car," but we saw it. Road rash, quite a distance, and they smelled alcohol, and he was gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I always call that dead man's curve now when I'm going out of Cairo. You know, I didn't get to finish. Did you ever deal with sovereign citizens saying that, "Oh, I'm traveling," or if they were speeding, or "I'm traveling"?
Yeah.
You know, get what I mean? Were you dealing with that then? Because my cousins that live in Beaver City, they deal with that a lot now. People that say, "Oh, I'm a sovereign citizen, and you can't, and here's what you have to do, and I don't need a driver's license," or.
I never really.
You never had to deal with it?
Dealt with
Oh,
that.
thank
We
God.
worked
Because
so many
you guys,
nights.
that's a joke.
So many nights.
People lie to you.
I still remember that I stopped a guy for speeding over east of Funk, and he was in a Corvette. He was from another state, and so I went up there and I said, "I'm going to write you a ticket." I said, "You can either," "you can pay." Because we had envelopes addressed, we took them to the mailbox.
Yeah.
They mailed the money in themselves. We never touched it. And he said, "No," he says, "you can just release me and I'll show up in court." I said, "No, I can't do that." "What are you going to do about it?" I said, "I'm going to have to put you in jail."
Right.
Well, then things changed. But see, that's the problem. Law enforcement's gotten away from, we are in charge. We tell you what the rules are. This is what the law says. You have to follow the law. Now they want to fight it. No, this isn't true. I have rights.
DEI.
Oh.
I'm from Nebraska. I'm old school. I have my own opinions. Most women are not as strong as men. And I love our female law enforcement. I think they're fabulous. But that's when you get people in there that are men. Men are stronger. That's just how it is. That's just how God made us, and
Exactly.
and that's how I feel. I don't think I would have ever made a good police officer.
Well, and it's people. I think people are getting into it now for the wrong reasons.
What do you think they're getting in for?
The power, the prestige. When I got law enforcement, you had to be so tall.
Mm-hmm.
Your weight had to correspond with your height, because
Right.
you have to be able to deal with people fighting you.
People on drugs that are just so incredibly strong.
And if a woman can do the job, I have no problem.
Right.
By all means, you do it. You want to fight. We had a gal I worked with at the sheriff's office, Mary Hosworth. She could handle herself.
Yeah.
We never saw a problem with that.
Right.
But not all of them can.
It's a strength thing. And I've heard male cops say, if it's a man and they're giving us a hard time, we have no problem punching them, but they won't hit a woman. And as a woman, I'm thinking, if you're behaving like that, and if I was there, honey, you're going down.
You got to do what you have to do
To subdue them.
Yeah. And people often say, "Well, why is there 3 or 4 people on that guy?" Well, the more, the merrier, because you can control them easier.
Yeah.
If it's just one-on-one, the fight is on. And I've been in the one-on-one fights, and it's a struggle.
It is.
And so if you have a couple guys there, I always think of the story that I found a pickup. I was coming in Donovan. I was heading north towards Grand Island, and this, I don't know, probably midnight, 1 o'clock, and I saw a pickup that was parked on the side, headed south on 281. Thought, that's kind of weird. So I whipped around and pulled up there and kind of watched for a little bit, and his backup lights were on.
Okay.
So finally I got out. He was passed out with his foot on the brake.
Thank God.
And So I got him woke up, he put it in park, and I said, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I just gonna take a nap here and kind of snooze for a while. You can just let me do. And I said, I don't know if I can do that. You really don't want to try to do anything with me.
Oh.
I said, okay, I tell you what, I will call my sergeant and tell him what you ask of me.
Right.
He said, okay, do that. So I went back, called the sergeant. He was in Carroll. And he says, I'm headed your way. I'll be there, just stop him. Well, about that time, a trooper went by, going south. So I hollered at him real quick, and he came over there, and we got the guy out. We had to use 2 sets of handcuffs because his muscles in his arms, he couldn't reach his arms back.
I've seen that.
So we used 2 handcuffs to do him, and didn't have a problem. Got him in the car all the way to the jail. He said he was going to shove fishing lures in my mouth.
Fishing lures?
Oh, yeah.
In your mouth? Did he have fishing lures?
I didn't see any. Oh, I've had him make threats.
Oh, sure.
As soon as we got to the jail, we pulled in the Sally Port. Once that door went down, then they realized that I'm done.
You're done, you're
Never heard
cooked.
another word out of me.
And then it goes to the jailers.
Yep.
And they take no crap.
And my brother, he worked at the jail.
Did he?
Oh, for 20 some years.
Yeah, that's dedication, you guys. So, yes, well, a couple of days ago, I had made a post about my friend, Evelyn, and how her husband, it's been about 8 months or so, was just riding his motorcycle outside of Hastings. He liked to do that on a Sunday. And this lady pulled out, who happened to be a nurse, just pulled out in front of him. And it was instantaneous. But she said she was doing CPR and all this, but he passed right there. And we had to go to court this last Monday for sentencing. And my friend Evelyn and family and my best friend Jerry were all good friends. We were there for support. And she said she knows that this woman was just going to get a slap on the wrist. And all I'm thinking is, well, that's not really justice. But I'm not a lawyer. That's my husband, you know. And my husband said the same thing. It's small town. She's just going to get a slap on the wrist. I said, even for vehicular homicide? Yep. He goes, that's just kind of how it is, because he'd been a prosecutor in all these, you know, like Greeley and Kearney, Buffalo, and all that smaller towns. Well, anyway, the grandkids and everybody were there. We're all sitting there and on one side behaving. And these kids and the family had written impact statements. And the judge said, he goes, I have all these impact statements. And he let Evelyn talk for a little bit. And she was getting emotional, as would a widow.
Oh, Lord,
she's devastated. They're all devastated. And he was very cold, and he cut her off. And he did not let any of them read their impact statements.
Really?
He wanted no emotion. Judge Mead, I believe his name was Mead, M-E-A-D. Anyway, she has a lot of kids, Evelyn. She's got 33 grandkids, 8 great-grandchildren. She's got a big family. And her one son, you can understand the emotion. And that judge would not let them read their impact statements. And he had his mind made up. She only got 1 year of probation and a year deferred jail time. So she could go back to work, and you know why? Because she had a clean record. I don't know. I don't know if it was I'm not going to say race. I hate race baiting, but my family, my good friend, her family, a lot of them are Hispanic. Doesn't matter. They lost their dad. They lost their grandpa. She lost her husband. And this judge had no mercy on her. Cut her off.
Was this the one out on East Highway 30 and he was coming into town? She pulled out from Capitol Avenue.
It was in Hastings.
Oh, this is a different one.
Like 8 months ago. It's another one. I've heard people have been asking me about them, and I don't know the details of that myself. But
okay.
anyway, her son ended up having to leave the courtroom because he was upset, very upset, and we didn't want him to go to jail. And the judge, he wanted to keep the guilty person safe.
Mm-hmm.
I understand, but we were all outside, and it was just a horror that this judge only gave her 1 year of probation
And a deferred jail sentence.
deferred jail sentence. So I don't really care who this judge is. That was wrong.
Well, one of the
Justice was not served.
back there for a while when they were having this big push about does the death penalty work? And so it had been like 20 years. Well, Nebraska was going to put somebody to death. I don't remember who it was. Somebody had asked the political science professor at Kearney,
Right.
what's your opinion of the death penalty? He says, well, there's two things. He says, number one, what they did has to be severe.
Right.
Number two, you got to do it. You got to
Yes.
sentence them.
Don't just
You
let them
can't
sit
just-
there.
Yeah, you can't just,
Be like Texas.
and he says, so they're not, and that's what I see all the time. They have it better in jail.
Yes.
They've got laptops, iPads, medical, dental.
She can grow up with her kids and her family. This lady that killed my friend's husband, they have to go visit a gravesite
Mm-hmm.
and live without him. And it's I'm not going to ever paint a pretty picture for that. I don't understand how our justice system works, but I think the judges have changed so much, in my opinion. What are your thoughts?
I can remember in Auburn when I was a police officer there, I was running radar one morning. It was like 2, 3 in the morning, and this car was heading south out of Auburn. He was speeding a lot, and so I went after him, tried to stop him, and I kept chasing him and chasing him. He kept going, kept going, kept going. It was raining. Finally stopped him about 20 miles south, and it was an old guy and his wife, and there was another couple. I don't remember what the deal was, so I gave him a ticket for flight to avoid arrest. And he went to court, and oh man, you should have seen how I was treated.
What?
Because I was picking on this poor old guy. He was found not guilty. Nothing happened to him, and that was in 1977. So they had this attitude of, I want to make you better. I want to help you.
Oh,
And they forget about the victims. Victims never get any
no.
help, never. I spent years on Mothers Against Drunk Driving. I started the first chapter here in Hall County.
You did?
Mm-hmm. And then I was a state officer for a while. And we see it all the time with drunk drivers. They hit, they kill people, and boy, we're sure worried about this. They went through, there was a time with the courts in Holdridge, people get arrested for drunk driving, they were sending them to Valley Hope.
Sure.
We want to cure them. Well, fine, I'm all for curing them if they have drugs, if they have a drinking problem, but punish them first. It's like a little kid. If you know your mom's going to get after you, you're saying, no, I'm not going to do that. You see, that's
Kids
not a
don't
parent.
get disciplined
No.
anymore. Not like when I was a kid. I mean, did I ever have to go get a switch like I heard grandparents saying? No. But
You ought to hear some stories my wife tells. She retired from Grand Island Public Schools. She worked 10 years, I think it was, 11 years with, she worked for Dan Brose when he was assistant superintendent, and then he quit, and Steve Burkholder, and then she worked for him. Well, she could see things changing.
yes.
So she said, find me an opening somewhere, I don't care where it is. So she ended up going to Connecticut as a secretary she finished out her, I think probably another 12 years or so. And some of the stories she talks about a teacher. I even talked to the teacher, 5th grade. A fifth grader, threw a chair at her. And so what do? Rather than remove the kid, they remove all the other students, send them on to another room somewhere while they try to deal with this kid. And my wife says, why? You can't touch them.
No.
You can't touch them anymore.
No.
And so they just
We used to, there was a junior high teacher that had one of them boards on the wall.
Board of Education.
Yes.
What we call the Roar had one.
Yeah, we did. And he didn't talk back to them.
Right.
We had respect. And that's just another thing that I'm going to ask you. I don't know when you retired. When did you?
1997.
Okay. My cousins, a couple of them, retired from the police force. One was a CSI down in Wichita, or no, Kansas City. Anyway, because of the lack of respect for police and the threats on them, the defund police. How do you feel about that?
That's one of the problems taking place right now.
Yes.
Cops are afraid to do their jobs.
Yes.
And there's so many people, it's like you'll see these cops fighting people, and instead of somebody helping them, there's video with their phones.
They're standing there with their phones. Yeah. And you know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. And it infuriates me.
Yep.
Call 911, put your phone away, and get in there and help that cop.
Now imagine if there were no cops. Just for a second, people need to realize, what would it be like if we didn't have cops on the highway, on the city streets, if they never had to worry about getting stopped for speeding or drunk driving? Just imagine. But see, they don't think that.
They want lawlessness.
Right.
Yet, our senators and our congressmen and city people, they have a service that takes and protects them.
Yep.
I see what they're doing to judges that are like on the Supreme Court. People are out there threatening them. There's no respect anymore.
None.
Here's my thought. And I believe that our POTUS is really working hard to bring God back.
Yes, he is.
Because we are one nation under God, not Allah, not Sharia law. Yes, I'm saying that, and I mean it from my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of it.
Yep.
You're trying to force me as a woman to wear a burqa? Good luck.
Yeah, I watched a video today. It was on, I record, his name's Ed Henry on Newsmax.
I think I've heard of him.
And I record him every night and watch him in the mornings. And somebody had sent in a video. The guy's driving down the street, here's an Amazon van, and the Amazon driver gets out, lays his rug down on the pavement, gets down and kneels and prays to Allah. And it's all on video.
I've seen him try to do that in front of like a Baptist church too.
Mm-hmm.
Or bringing the Quran into schools when we haven't been allowed for what, 30, 40 years to talk about God. One of my favorite things that we used to do, did you ever listen to Fran's Man in the Morning?
No.
Okay, well, at about 6:20 every morning, he would have somebody say the Pledge of Allegiance. And there's a lot of people that don't know our Pledge of Allegiance.
Really?
No. I'm a proud American. I sing our national anthem whenever asked.
Yeah.
That's an honor to sing that song. And when I sing it, my grandpa fought in World War II. I close my eyes, put my hand over my heart, and I sing to him. As we're looking at that flag, I picture that. That's being a proud American needs to be back again.
Oh, we need it so bad. My wife's dad was in the military. My dad was in the military. Our son here in town was in the National Guard for 10 years. He spent a year in Afghanistan. They've been instilled with respect and pride in our government.
Right.
This pride and respect from other people is leaving. It's going away. People don't care anymore.
I know.
All they care about is where they have their phone, their iPads. Can we find something to complain about?
Playing video games.
Oh, it's just...
Get your kids outside.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah.
Learn to fish. Our Game and Parks Commission, they love to have the kids come out and show them what to do. I was raised to shoot. I know how to. I'm a good shot. Just FYI, and I do have my own weapons, as does my husband. But I'm the better shot.
Are you?
You dadgum right. But
Yeah, I have my permit. I have a handgun concealed permit. Always had one as soon as.
All of my cousins that are cops always had them on them.
Yep.
Always. And my one cousin, George, he always, when we go out to eat, he'd want to be sitting where he could observe everybody. And that's just...
I'm still that way.
So you can have the view.
I can see these doors.
Yeah, and I'm sitting with my back, and it always makes me nervous because I'd been a nurse for a long time. Growing up through high school, I worked at the Ravenna home. My mama was my nurse, my charge nurse.
Oh.
And we worked at the vets home. We love our vets. My daughter works at the VA hospital. And I go and see Kyle when Kyle was there. I don't know if you knew Kyle Hetrick.
Yeah.
He was
I'm not going to comment.
Okay. and oh gosh, Dan Astranis.
I know him.
Yep, Dan Ornery. I love those guys. He grew up, he'd drive around Rockville and catch us kids riding on our mini bikes, jumping over the... Anyway, I know a lot of cops, and I have a lot of cops in my family. I have lawyers in my family, too.
Well, I won't hold that against you.
My husband is so black and white. He doesn't practice anymore. He retired in 2012. It's just because everything had changed, and it was a good old boy network.
Oh, yeah. Well, a district judge out of Hastings just retired. He's a friend of mine, Steve Illingsworth.
Okay.
He and I have been friends. He was county attorney in Holdridge when I was on the sheriff's office there, and we became really good friends. And he lives down in Hastings, and we went and had dinner with him and his wife the other day and visited. And he knows my wife because she's worked for the court system before she got into school.
Sure.
And he was just a down-to-earth type of guy. They just don't make him like that anymore.
No, and
they just
the media has changed.
Oh.
I used to work at KNLV in Ord, great station. Mark Jensen owns it, and I did the country show. I went by Lynn Daly. That was my radio name for 30 years.
Really?
And then when I went to work for 107.7 as Midday Renee, because people knew me, I'd worked at Hope Harbor, and I worked at the Crisis Center. I love helping people. Hence, here I am, helping people, spreading the word of what Nebraska people are really like. And your name came up, and my friend Kim Garcia,
Kimmy G.
She's a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine. We're like sisters, and her daughters and our kids kind of grew up together. And she's a good friend of my best friend, Jerry McDonald. And we are all like-minded. And we just want to see the good come back. We want to see. It's got to
come back before before this country's gone.
Right.
And people just don't realize it. They don't realize.
Why are you so hateful? And I want to say, we're a God-fearing country under God. And it's like, I feel like the devil's got a hold of these people. This is me speaking, but you agree. I'm like, how can you want to support illegal immigrants that are violent, pedophiles, killing, and getting just a slap on the wrist and let go? I don't understand that, and I never will.
And this algae thing, people are down there protesting for the algae.
What? It makes no sense, guys. Why are you for algae?
They're supporting Iran. And I don't know what people are thinking anymore.
I think the first time that they had, say, somebody come up and say, you need to cover up, black, only your eyes can be seen. Meet my friend 357 here. Nobody's going to do that. And especially in the Bible Belt. I see what they've done in Japan. They're pushing them out. England is pushing out this Islamic. Islamic to me is like the devil.
Oh, it is.
It's satanic to
Muslims.
me. Yes. And you can't say that you promote peace when you want to kill people.
Well, their main cry is death to America.
Death to America.
What else do you need to hear? Can we turn it? I need to go to the restaurant. No? Oh, they're not. They're communists.
I don't know why. Where did this? My family, believe it or not, was raised Democratic. And here's how I was raised. The Democrats were for the little working man, for the working man.
Mm-hmm.
It has done a complete reversal.
Oh, completely.
And then when we found out all about this fraud, and all I keep saying is, when are the higher ups going to be arrested?
Yeah, they're still walking around.
And they're just, we got it. We got our money. I'm driving a Bentley, all that money going to the terrorist organizations, Somalian.
Now the judges are protecting them.
Yes. Why?
Yeah, and
we know
that's
why.
the big story. Why? Why would they do that?
I think we're going to probably end our conversation here.
Okay.
Is there anything that you would like my viewers to know?
I think people need to wake up. You need to realize what's taking place in this world right now, in America. Because the old saying is, America's the last place. If you lose America, there's nowhere you can go.
Right.
It's done. And the other thing I think of, they talked about that, and you're seeing it in the colleges, and they have teachers that graduate, and you're seeing this ideology that they're spreading in the schools. One of the things that communism always does is they want to dumb down America.
Yes.
If you don't know your rights, how can you go protest them?
I had to take a course on it, and when I was finishing my bachelor's degree in marketing, we had to take a course. It was the Kincaid course on our forefathers and that. And I'm going to tell you something. I'm a descendant of Patrick Henry.
Uh-oh.
Give me liberty or give me death. So this Irish girl, well, I'm Czech too. Czech and German. Got it all in me. But you need to stick up for your country.
You have to.
And appreciate the freedoms that we have.
You lose it and there's nowhere to go. I'm lucky I'm in the winter of my life.
Right.
I'm 72 years old.
Go move to a third world country.
And see how you can, it's like somebody, build these No King riots.
Mm-hmm.
I watched, you ever listen to Caitlin Bennett?
Yes.
Okay, I just love Caitlin Bennett. But she was talking to somebody and she says, do you think you could do this in Palestine?
No.
No.
They're jailing people in England and London for their posts on Facebook. And you know how we've got some loudmouths making threats and stuff like that on social media. They would be arrested in other countries.
Well, did you see that kid that was stabbed? But the cops in Britain or the UK didn't believe him. They believed the Muslim, and he bled to death while he was handcuffed on the ground.
Yeah.
Novak, I think was his last name. That's the kind of stuff that's taking place.
Right.
Because, I don't want to offend them.
Where did it? Was it Japan? They're pushing out the Muslim population because they want that Sharia law.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to happen in this country. Not going to happen.
What's happening in New York right now?
Oh, I know. Mondami. That's terrifying.
And 3 people have won the Democratic primary in New York, and all of them want to defund the police. They want an open border.
It's terrifying.
Free.
We got to pray for America.
Somebody asked me, why are these people and these young people vote for him? Because he's saying it's free.
Yes.
It's free. Everything's free.
Yes. People are they're trying to follow or listen to Bernie Sanders.
Oh.
Bernie, you're so old and you've got all this money. What a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite.
Well, he started out, he was against millionaires. Then he became one. He has 3 homes.
Yeah.
Now it's millionaires.
And now Elon Musk is a trillionaire.
Uh-huh.
God bless him.
Did you see Elon's thinking about suing Ro Khanna?
No.
Oh, yeah. Ro Khanna went on and said that Elon Musk is responsible for 4.5 million kids dying because of Doge.
Oh, yeah.
So he's thinking about suing him.
I have some of my favorite congressmen that I love to watch and senators. John Kennedy is one of my favorites.
Yeah, but even he's turning.
I
fighting
don't
the Save
want him
America
to.
Act. I just read that the other day.
I did not know that.
Yep.
That makes me sick.
Almost
Josh
all of it.
Hawley,
Yeah,
Ted Cruz.
yeah, but everybody's starting to wonder. You know, I can't remember what they call it. They run the Senate. If he's gone, pro forma or something like that, they didn't do anything. They're thinking about going on a 2-week vacation again. And none of the Ted Cruzes, the Josh Hawleys, they never stand up for it and say, "Oh, don't do this." One that I really liked was Eric Schmidt out of Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, when they wouldn't pass the bill for the Customs and Border Protection, and they had that little meeting and nobody had to vote, they just automatically did it. He was standing there with John too when they did it, and then they left for 2 weeks.
That's another thing. When they close the government, they should not be paid.
And the bill has made it through that's
Good.
Now, whether it happens is
Now, how come they get rich? I mean, they're making a fine salary.
You know how many millions they're making?
Yeah, insider trading. Look at old Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, come on now. She just knows everything. Just ask her. She'll tell you.
I wouldn't listen to her.
Oh, I wouldn't either. The woman is
Absolutely
nuts.
not. I didn't, I'm sorry if I made this political, but I'm so strong about it these days. And I think that our youth need to hear it.
Yes.
I hope they're listening. I hope they pay attention. And if you make nasty comments, I will delete you.
They'll make nasty comments. There's no doubt in my mind. Have you seen some of the comments people make on Facebook?
Oh my. Yeah.
Just nasty stuff.
No, I don't tolerate it. I don't tolerate bullies. And that's another thing that I just have a problem with. I think the Muslim population are bullies.
Oh, they are. They're pushing their religion on you.
And that's not going to happen. We're one nation under God, indivisible with liberty.
And justice for all.
And justice for all. We need to think about that, guys. And I really want to thank you.
Thank you
for your time.
I
this is fun.
Talking. I always like talking.
Well, me too.
I could.
Why I have the face for radio. I talk all day. My boss would be like, you need to shut up so people can listen to the music. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're friends with. Oh, what's his name? Gosh, Kevin. He was at KSYZ. Kevin Kreifels.
Okay. Yeah.
His wife and my wife are cousins.
Oh, wow.
Or somehow cousins or something. She comes from Falls City and my wife's from Humboldt.
Around here, we're probably all related in some way or form because my grandma's maiden name was Reimers, and then we got the Nesebas and all that.
Were you out there when Kevin was there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I don't know how long he's been gone.
Next month, I would have been there 5 years. I had been out of radio for about, I don't know, I got out at KNLV in 2012 and started working at KSYZ just on a whim. Went in there and met with the awesome Jim Cartwright, and it was like I was home again.
Mm-hmm. So what happened?
New owner.
Well, I mean,
we were #1 in the Nielsen ratings. Franz Mann and I, our station, of the other stations that they bought, and I don't know if you remember the mayor of Averchek.
Oh yeah.
He used to own that radio station. Well, his son-in-law bought it, and
it was given to him.
Well, that's.
I wouldn't say he bought it.
Mm-hmm. There's money in there.
Oh yeah.
And I came in April 7th, and he handed me an envelope. No, we're not going to need your services.
No reason why or anything?
Nope, just not what we wanted. And he had let friends go the day before, and I don't know when Polly was, but we were all #1 in our spots. And I tried to be a lady about it. I said, okay, I understand it's business. I had no idea what he was doing. Changed the format, brought in this guy that used to work at 106 he goes by Bick.
I've never heard of him.
Yeah, well,
I've never been into a lot of the podcasts.
Well, it's all like that Taylor Swift music and stuff that we're 70s, 80s, and 90s. And I don't think that this new owner, Alan Usher, understood the loyalty of Central Nebraska people.
Oh, probably not.
It isn't just Grand Island, it's all over that they would pick us up or stream us. People that were in Brazil streamed us. We'd hear about it all the time. And we loved what we did. And we had such a great, like a family dynamic. Your work family. Mm-hmm. You look, like the brotherhood, but only in radio, we were very close. And I was nice and I left and I made a thing on Facebook telling everybody I didn't get to say goodbye.
Yeah, we'll see.
We loved our fans. We were close to them. We could text. They would text us and that. And then I found out that Mr. Usher had a fake Facebook account. How do you think I found out? People that he pissed off got a hold of me that used to be employees said, yeah, this guy that's telling you to show him the letter on Facebook. And the fans were going after him. How do you know about a letter? La, la, la. Anyway.
What's his Facebook page name?
Dan Boykin. And okay. So I found this out and I went after old Danny boy because he doesn't understand. I'm pissed now. Yeah. And I'm mad, not because I'm a big girl. If I get bucked off a horse, I'll get back on there somehow. But he bought all the stations around here, so we can't get jobs around here for the most part, Anyway, long story short, I told him, listen, I am not the kind of person, I don't get intimidated by anybody. And I said, if you're trying to intimidate me, it won't work. And then I called him, pardon me, a sanctimonious, narcissistic, heartless bastard.
Still have that Facebook page? I want to look it up.
Absolutely. You're going to have to scroll down a ways because that my one post had 78,000 views.
Really?
And I thought, and it was right then. I mean, I think I cried for maybe 5 minutes. I went and saw my mama. She lives in memory care. Mm-hmm. I'm one of those girls. I still have my mama.
I've seen posts.
And nothing is real until I tell her or my best friend. And I cried because I loved my job. I loved the people.
But there was no reason, no nothing.
He thinks he knows what Nebraskans, Central Nebraska, wants to hear. And I think it's disgusting and the stupidest move. I have degrees in business and marketing, and that was dumb. You have a loyal following.
Well, he should have said, okay, you guys got 6-8 months. Let's see how things go. Let's see what the ratings
No severance pay either.
No severance pay.
No severance pay. Yeah, no severance pay. But you know what? We're doing good. I pray that my friends, man, they're all like my brothers. Uh-huh. Jim Cartwright, Lou Tapia, my friend Trish, she was let go. Dallas.
How many were let go there?
Let's see, there was Franzman, Polly, and I from 107.7. And then in Kearney, it was Dallas Na, who was our market manager. And he was one of the hardest working guys.
You were a market manager?
Yes. And he was working so hard. He was the best. And let go of a young kid named Alex Hammer. Mm-hmm. Hammer was our sports guy, but he got a job right away. He's young. Another thing is, all of us at KSYZ and Rock 101.5, we're all close to 60. Maybe it was that too. He wanted some young blood in there. I don't know, and I don't care. He did what he did, and you know what? Suffer the consequences, because I put a curse on you to fail.
Well, a lot of people, I've read articles where kids are now starting to go back to those 60s and 70s music.
My kids love it. And I have boys that are in their 30s and a daughter in her mid-20s. You know what? They loved that music.
Well, I was talking to the guy that had a recall on our car.
Uh-huh.
They had to do an update on the sync screen. And I was talking to him, and we were talking about music and stuff. He says, yeah. He says the music back then was real music.
It was.
They made their own music. They didn't have woofers and whoopers and put in sounds or nothing. I said, that's exactly right.
Led Zeppelin, AC/DC.
The best
Queen.
group I ever listened to was Chicago.
Oh,
Judy
yeah.
and I went to a concert for Chicago. And we've been to the Doobie Brothers. We've been to
ZZ Top.
I was never much into ZZ Top.
I got into them when they were older and they drove the car.
Now one died.
I liked them. Yeah, Dusty Hill.
Yeah.
I was one of the first ones that passed away, and then I think Charlie from the Rolling Stones was my second one. Now, when Ozzy died,
Ozzy Osbourne.
That one, Lou came in, Lou Tapia, my friend, and he does Rock 101.5. Sorry I said your name, Lou. Anyway, he said, he goes, Ozzy just died. And you're just kind of stunned, because what an icon. But we knew he was in poor health, but it's still.
He's been sick for quite a while.
Eddie Van Halen, when he died, and I have that duck that I gave you. I call it my Eddie Van Halen duck.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I was real big in the Eagles.
Oh,
Doobie
yeah.
Brothers. I like all kinds of music. Always have.
I listen to the Vibe now.
That's where I listen to, but we also have Sirius in our car.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's going to be streaming.
Yeah.
I do too.
Yeah, that's how we used to have Dish Network, and we switched and went to a streaming through Allo, because we have our internet through Allo, and they had to deal with DirecTV. We do everything streaming now.
Yeah, everything's streaming.
Yep.
And that's what you get. When you take out something that the people around here coveted around. People loved our station, and they liked it because Fransman and I, even though we're completely different, I miss his laughter and his humor.
What was his name?
Fransman, Stephen Fransman. He's from New Haven, Connecticut.
Really?
And an amazing jockey.
Huh.
A disc jockey. I'll always call myself a disc jockey, even though I was a radio host, whatever, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I loved playing the music. I loved talking to the listeners, having contests. We texted, we had a texting thing. I'd give them a question of the day on Facebook and respond, and I like giving people a hard time anyway. And I miss that every day. When I would sit in that studio for 5 hours, and it felt like a minute, because I'd get to talk, and I loved it.
When you like what you're doing, then it's...
What is that saying? If you love what you do, you don't work a day in your life. And that's how I felt. So that's why I'm doing this. I'm talking to people, and it's been an honor talking to you.
Oh, I've enjoyed it, because I've never had a problem saying my piece.
No, me neither.
Never have. And people know it. It drives my wife crazy. A lot of times
My husband, the lawyer man is like, you probably shouldn't have, but you know what? I'm American, and I am proud to be American.
Yeah.
And where I come from. And I've been to Canada, socialism there.
Oh.
I've been to Mexico.
See how many people are killing themselves in Canada now because it's allowed?
Oh, the assisted, yeah.
Assisted suicide. Yeah. And now they're passing a law that if a psychiatrist says you're crazy, they can put you out. Yeah.
They need Jesus.
Oh, this whole world needs Jesus right now. The day you don't think you do, you're in trouble. But yeah, I need to get going.
All right. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Jim Fosket.
Yep. Enjoyed it.
We met on Facebook.
Yes, we did.
And I'm
we're friends
glad
with
we
Kitty
did.
G. We love